Draymond Green becomes visibly upset. He gives up on a play. He does not get back on defense. This after Jordan Poole doesn't pass him the ball as he cut to the top of the key. Warriors go on to lose 137-128. After the game, Steve Kerr said his team in the first half was, quote, disconnected. All right, Shannon, is this a big deal or we're making too much of it and it's not a big deal?
I don't want to make too much of it, but it's not a good look considering that the players that were involved. That's why it doesn't. That's why it's not. That's why it's not a good look. It's also not a good look for Draymond because he's the pulse, he's the heartbeat, he's the engine of that team, and he's supposed to be the glue. He's supposed to be the cohesion that keeps everything together. Even while when Steph Curry is out, you keep it together. When Clay is out, you keep it together. You're supposed to bring everybody together. You can't have a play like that. Skip, we just saw Norman Powell do this the other night. Remember the Batum? He thought he got fouled. They got the ball back.
Yep.
He argued with the referee, Batum throw the ball go out of bounds.
Okay, but at least he was arguing with the referee.
Yeah, he was arguing with the ref. So, but Skip, this is not a good look. Skip, we got a video. Can we show you the video? I want to show you the video. And so maybe this will jar Draymond's memory. I know a guy that did something similar to this, Skip. Okay. Is that the one?
Okay, Draymond wanted the ball.
No, you remember when Draymond bought the. That's the one right there. That's the one. Hey, Draymond, you remember?
Yeah.
You remember when somebody paid for the ball and they ain't give it to you? You remember Draymond?
That was the beginning of the end of Kevin Durant in Golden State.
That's what I'm talking about, Skip. It's not a good look. Now, I don't believe it's to the extent of that. Clearly, Kevin Durant was visibly upset, and we considering what we saw Kevin Durant do on Sunday, who knows, maybe we don't go to overtime, maybe we don't lose the game, blah, blah, blah. But because of the participants, Jordan Poole, Draymond, and we don't really need to relive or rehash what transpired, but it wasn't a good look. Now, Skip, I don't think Jordan Poole like, hey, man, damn, that's Draymond. I see him wide open. I ain't throwing in the ball.
I don't either.
But
that's the way Draymond took it.
Mm-hmm. And then he made it, and then, he shrugs, and then Poole tries to give him the ball, and then the ball goes in. So it became a bigger deal than what it should have been, simply because of the way Draymond reacted in the aftermath of not getting the ball. So I'm sure Steve Kerr had a conversation with Draymond. I'm not talking to Jordan Poole because I don't believe Jordan Poole did anything intentional or egregious. I'm going to have a conversation with Draymond. We just can't do that. Because everybody is looking at the relationship between you and Poole. And anything that's slightly out of the ordinary, people are going to leap to the conclusion of something is going on. So, hey, let's temper that. I think Draymond's like, I don't know what he said because I didn't hear it. But I'm sure Draymond's going to say, hey, that's on me. I got to be I'm a leader, and I can't let that happen.
You didn't hear it because Draymond ducked the media.
Oh, okay.
He calls himself the new media, so he would not speak to the old media, and I'm going to assume he's going to save his deepest thoughts for his own podcast because that's the way the new media operates.
Right.
I'm a member of the old media, and I'm about to take Draymond to task for something that was completely out of bounds and unacceptable.
Okay.
And I don't want to rehash what happened, but I need to restate the fact that before this season started, Draymond lost his cool and his mind for just a moment, and he punched one Jordan Poole right in the jaw, and somehow it got leaked. And I don't know how it got leaked. I never heard if they got to the bottom of who leaked it.
Yeah. I thought it was an investigation.
Yeah. What was the point? Somebody wanted to put Draymond on big blast, like big public, national, international blast.
Warriors.
Somebody did, and he got exposed for punching Jordan Poole right in the jaw.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of clouds hanging over a team, I believe that cloud still hangs over this team because they had the best culture in all of basketball, and now they have a very questionable culture. See their road record. It is now 7-25. Mm-hmm. They're not hanging together under fire on the road.
Right.
And this was Exhibit A right here.
Mm-hmm.
Because the engine of this train, Draymond, he coughed and he sputtered when one Jordan Poole didn't pass him the basketball. And as the ball went the other way,
he didn't run back.
He walked toward the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like he didn't quit on the game, but he quit on the play.
Right.
He came back in the second half because I think he got a stern talking to probably from his head coach, and they've had a bunch of clashes in halftime locker rooms. I remember one long ago. That night, Steph,
OKC, the double bang.
Same place. And Steph went out of his mind in that game against KD and Westbrook, right?
Yep.
And yet, Lisa Salters reported at halftime she could hear through the locker room door Draymond screaming something. It was about throwing me the damn ball.
If you don't want me to shoot, take me out.
Remember that? Okay. That was a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we've come full circle. Here we go back again in Oklahoma City. This game wasn't even close. Draymond did not quit in the second half. He did score 6 points. He did have 6 assists. He also had no rebounds, and we just talked about how engaged AD was last night with 22. So Draymond did not exactly battle on the boards in the second half. Was his heart in it? I don't know.
Yeah, he had 1 rebound.
He got 1 rebound in the second half. I thought he had none.
He had one total.
The point is, they got shellacked. They weren't really ever in this game. Steph had a late 3 that could have been interesting, and he got it blocked. And Steph put up 40 points. So Shannon, here's the question for you. If I told you going into this game that Steph Curry would make 10 of 16 three-point shots and that Klay would add 5 of 13, so they made 15 threes, just the two of them, the dynamicest duo we've ever seen.
Right.
What if I told you that, and I told you that Draymond would end up with 11 assists?
Yeah.
Well, you'd say
beat OKC.
You'd say that would be it. Now, Shai Gilgeous obviously is back, and he had 33. But would you believe that there were 7 Thunder players were in double figures last night because
they don't play
they don't play any defense anymore. They used to be the best defense.
Yes.
Now they're like in the 20s.
Right.
Okay, well, that's all you need to know.
Right.
And that's how they're 7 and 25 on the road. How many times back in the dynastic day when you saw Steph coming into your building, you were like, oh, God, we're in for it tonight, because that team was actually even better on the road because especially Steph, he loved to shut down a road crowd.
Right.
And he was doing his darndest last night to shut the crowd down with 40 points, and it didn't matter because you really weren't in the game because you don't play defense.
They don't skip. OKC only played 9 players, 7 in double figures. Isaiah Joe had 9, and Waters the third had 7. So they damn near had everybody that played almost got double figures.
Yep.
And you think you're going to beat who? You already struggle on the road because you don't play defense. And last night you say, nah, we ain't playing 0 defense. Allow them to shoot 53% from the floor, 46% from the 3. You're going to lose. Even if Steph Curry goes 10 or 16, you allow somebody to do that, you're going to lose.
That is correct. I saw an anonymous quote the other day from an NBA exec saying, don't sleep on Golden State. Don't be surprised if they win it all again this year.
Not with that defense.
I would be shocked.
Yes.
Seriously, right now, I would be shocked.
Yes.
I know Steph's been out for a while, and then they had a little 3-game winning streak featuring Klay. I just don't like the way they play defense, and I don't like their fractured culture anymore. And it's also possible, as much as I love Steve Kerr, good guy, it's also possible his voice is not being heard anymore in a locker room that is being more and more fractured because of the fractured relationship between Jordan Poole, the next Steph Curry, and Draymond Green.
Skip, if you notice, the Warriors tried to go to a depth lineup with Kuminga.
Yep.
Because they normally start Kevon Looney.
They do.
They brought him off the bench. But Jordan Poole is, and I understand that he made his name, he cut his teeth coming off the bench, but he seems to be a different player now coming off the bench than when he's in the starting lineup.
Okay.
Look at his numbers when Steph was out. Look at his numbers when he's coming off the bench, Skip.
Okay, and speaking of Jordan Poole, what happened to him in the second half? You don't think he was shook up by what happened? Because he scored how many in the second half? 0.
Correct. He's 1 for 7 from the 3.
Okay. Well, I got for the second half, he was 0 of 2 from 3.
Yeah.
0 of 3 from the floor. Okay. So, and by the way, Draymond in the second half, I'm looking at rebounds. He had 0 on my book. You said he had 1.
He had 1 rebound for the game.
Oh, for the game. I was just talking about the second half.
No, he had 1 rebound for the game.
Okay.
But then you come on, come on, Dre. And Draymond played 33 minutes, and he gave you 1. I mean, he didn't have a bad game. He was 5 of 7, 1 of 1 from the 3. He shot no free throws, 11 points, 11 assists. He was plus. He had the highest plus minus. But Skip, they don't play any defense. They're already a small, undersized team. Got out rebounded again by 11. Crushed on the glass, 13-8. Nah, I'm like you. I'm gonna be shocked. The way they play defense, and teams can get whatever they want because they were already undersized, Skip. They don't really have a rim protector. Kevon Looney is okay, but he's really not a rim protector. I'm surprised they won 34 games.
Yeah.
If you look at the way they play defense.
How many championship teams have a key player, a key leader of the team, walk off the floor during play because he's upset he didn't get the basketball? It's such a bad sign. It's a bad look and a bad sign. Yeah. And I say there's no way they're going to make any noise in the postseason.
Draymond, is he back next year?
I'm going to say no.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
Guys, if they want to make noise in the postseason, they got to figure out how to win on the road. They have been abysmal when they've been away from San Francisco. They have just one road win in the last 6 weeks.
Wow.
Crazy, right? Woo. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the Mavericks, gentlemen. Has Dallas finally figured out how to play with Kyrie and Luka, how to make this thing work? Let's unpack that on the other side of this break.